My name's Dave Harmon, and I'm the investigative and projects editor for the Texas Tribune. The Texas Tribune is a nonprofit newsroom. We primarily cover Texas government and politics. We also have a border reporter based in El Paso, and for this big story, we've supplemented that position with a new bureau in South Texas. And we're working on a project right now called Families Divided. It began earlier this year when the federal government began changing its policy on undocumented immigrants coming into the country and began separating families once they came across the border. And children were placed in shelters across Texas and in other states, often leaving the parents and the children hundreds or thousands of miles apart with no idea where each other were. We began sending reporters to the border to investigate this story, and we've been there ever since. Recently, we sent Jay Root, one of our investigative reporters, down to the border and opened a bureau in South Texas. Jay is down there now working with a couple of other reporters for the Tribune, and he's investigating this story, which is changing almost every day. One of the reasons we've sent reporters down to the border to cover this story is because there's not a lot of information coming out from the federal government. We found it very difficult to interview immigrants in detention centers. We have not been able to get into shelters where the children are being held, and statistics and other important information has been very difficult to come by. So we've had to do a lot of reporting on the ground, and the only way to do that is to have reporters on the border where the story is happening. We think this is an important story for Texas and the rest of the country, which is why we've decided to stay with it for the near future. We're going to have our people on the ground on the border for several months, and what we're trying to do is connect with these immigrants after they're detained and follow them through the entire process of being released, being reunited with their children, and in most cases being fixed with an ankle monitor and allowed to go to their original destination. We've found a number of migrant families who have agreed to talk to us, and we've been following them through this process, and we'll continue to do that into the fall.